Okay, here's one of the problems from the 1.4 assignment. I think it's 1G. This problem is more involved than some of the examples I did. It does have one thing in common with one of the examples I did, that it's got the parentheses there. So we're going to, since we want to solve for b sub 1 and it's inside those parentheses, we're going to have to start by distributing what's in the parentheses. So I distributed the h first because I knew that one I was going to actually distribute. I'm not going to distribute the half because I'm in a habit of clearing my fractions. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 since that's the denominator I'm trying to get rid of. And those will cancel. So now I don't have fractions anymore. Makes it much less intimidating. So now I've got 2a equals b sub 1h plus b sub 2h, and I'm still trying to get b sub 1 alone. So I'm always going to get rid of the thing that's attached by addition or subtraction first, and that's that b sub 2h. So I'm going to subtract that from both sides. That'll go away on the right, turn into a 0. So now I've got terms that are not alike on the left. I have 2a minus b sub 2h. And on the right, I've got b sub 1h. So b sub 1's not alone, it's with an h. Those are multiplied, so I need to divide to get rid of that h. And it's probably okay to leave the answer like that in some instances, but we have a common item in the numerator and denominator of the second term, so we can simplify those h's, cross those h's out. Those guys, right? I don't want to just do it there. In fact, I'm not going to do it there because that h applies to both halves, right? So there's really a little middle step I took. Let me write that in. I had this and canceled those h's, and that's what led to that. Okay, so now that I wrote that stuff in, I think that's going to go over some words. Yeah, it was multiple choice answer A, and you better show in some work. Don't just write A on your paper. So you need to be able to solve the equations that look like that for whatever variable's asked. Okay, another example from the homework. Again, I didn't give an example that was this involved because this time we've got more than one variable. We're going to solve for y, but there's also an x in there. But it's the same thing as if, you know, we had the b's and h's, but then we're also going to evaluate for a value of x. We're going to start by getting rid of the term that's attached to what we want by addition or subtraction. That 7x is attached to the y with subtraction. It's a positive 7x, so we're going to subtract it. We've got negative xy equals negative 7x minus 18. Get rid of what's with the y that's attached by multiplication by dividing. And so we've got y equals negative 7x minus 18. It was over negative x. We don't like to leave that negative in the denominator. It applies to either the numerator or the denominator equally. We like to put it in front of the fraction. So I put it in front, and then I realized, well, I can distribute that out, and that's just going to make these guys positive. So there's what we've got for our equation solved for y, or written in terms of y. But now we've got to evaluate for that value they gave us. So we substitute the negative 4, do the math, keep doing the math, simplify, and that's my answer. So it's either 5/2 or 2.5 or 2.5.